And then we have analytics, and we have some vertical version for mobile gaming to help you to understand your customer, to dig deeper of your customer, to understand them. And then we built up the first open mobile DMP, the data management platform. That is the audience warehouse based on the the 800 million unique devices that we have access to. So we built comprehensive profiling for the 800 million unique devices. So we open that with the ecosystem to help you to engage with your target mobile users. And then we have mobile apps API, so we can track after you engage with your target audiences. And this is a whole circle and the total solution to help you people reach success in the mobile industry in China. So a little bit number about us. So our services has access more than almost 800 million unique devices through 3 years. We have the mobile developers, more than 35,000 apps integrated our SDK. And most of the the top grossing titles, they have leveraging our services and solutions, and most of them, most of the mid-core and hardcore titles, they leverage our solutions as to help them to monetize better in the market. Some famous title like Plants with Zombies, MT, some of the very successful title that published in China. So we have solid relationship and collaboration with the whole mobile ecosystem in China. So along with all the top content provider, we call developers in China content providers, and top publishers, and then like Punchbox and SkyMobi and those top publishers, and all the distribution channels. So because we are a neutral, independent data platform, we work with all the distribution channels. They have leveraged our solutions to enhance their ROI of their business, and also all the top ad platforms, and also today's the top DSPs in the mobile market. And another important part is the telecom carriers. They control the billing ecosystem for the casual games in China. So first, let me give you some numbers about the total market of the Chinese gaming, mobile gaming industry. It's big and it's growing very fast. Today, but by the mid of this year, the total mobile users, active mobile users, have reached to like 810 million active devices, and 97% of them has at least one title or one game installed and opened on their mobile device. So we can see that most of the Chinese mobile users, they play game. So it's pretty amazing. But interesting trend is that the new user growth rate is a bit slowing down, which I will explain later. So to understand the mobile gamers in China, you're first gonna understand what type of devices and what platforms we're using. So China is a kingdom of Android. So if we see the ratio between Android and iOS, the Androids dominate the market, like 7-3. The massive of the Chinese mobile populations are Android users. So that is the result from the rapid growth and very high-speed development of local mobile phone manufacturers. And within the development of last year, 2/3 of the total Android market devices are local brands, and this is pretty interesting. So that makes the whole market very fragmented, if we compare with last year, Samsung, some of the big brands, they still are dominating the top the top of the market. But in this year, we can see some local brands like Xiaomi, and they have surpassed Samsung and give them a very hard life today. So, and the massive mobile population are coming from the tier 2 and tier 3 cities of China. So why is pretty popular for the Android devices is that it's an open system and is capable in both software and hardware to play any type of games, even the top 3D very system resource consuming titles. They can run on some of the low and mid tier mobile Android mobile devices. So local devices, they have very strong competitiveness in terms of pricing. So they dominate the market very rapidly. So one thing I would like to share here is that since there are over 1,000 different Android models within the market, so the compliance and the compatibility for a game developer is pretty important for you to release a successful title. Because if a different device, they have their own different ROM, which is not compatible, which is not compatible with the standard Google Android system. So you're gonna make sure your build is compatible to most of the major device models. If you don't cover like 80% of the major device models, then you're gonna receive some very negative feedback in terms of the user experience from the gamers, and that will cause you some trouble to receive the success in the market. So in our system, we help people to analyze the models, different models within the Chinese market to help you to see which is the top model for your gamers, and you have paid more and more attention to the device compatibility of those target device models. And next, other than devices people are using, let's talk about where people are downloading and discover apps, and is something about the distribution ecosystem. So in the West is something like this, but in China, Google Play is not working, Facebook is blocked. It's something like this. It looks like a jungle, and for Android ecosystem, people are downloading and discover games and apps from all the third-party app stores. So they are the major source. But there are like 500 of them in China last year. But we did see some consolidation trend this year, and the top 10 of the third-party app store, they control like 90% of the total distribution volume in the market. So a pretty interesting number is that nearly 1/3 of the user, they will install more than one Android app store to download apps. So that explains why the market is quite fragmented, and you should not just focus on one distribution channel. You're going to work with the most high quality channel for your title to reach as more premium traffic source as you can. So this is the number we track for the top 10 third-party app stores in China. 360 is a public company. You might heard of it. It's the number one in terms of the penetration for the app distribution volume, and then Baidu. It has acquired 91 and High Market last year. So it became the second largest one in parallel with 360. And then my app, any of you heard of WeChat? Yes, it's pretty famous. So that built a great contribution to the growth of my app, which is called 应用宝 in China. And we did, if we look at the the number behind 10, top 10, we did see some device factory-owned app stores growing very fast, like Xiaomi. They have their own app store, and Huawei and ZTE, they have built their pre-installed their app stores within their devices after shipment. So that helped them to occupy the top positions in the chart too. So this is a comparison between the growth for Google Play and my app, 应用宝. You see the 应用宝 is growing very fast. So that includes, for Android distribution, third-party app stores are the major source. But for iOS, the trend is in the opposite. More and more people are downloading their apps and games from the official app stores. You might heard a lot about the jailbreak channels, but today there's a trend of fading for the jailbreak channels within China. More and more people are getting used to getting content and application from the official app stores of Apple. And in iOS, another important source for user acquisition is through the ad platform, mobile ad networks or the DSPs today, because it is a pretty useful way to do some burst campaigns to help you to get rushed into the top position of the top chart, and then receive those organic traffic then. So intensive offer wall is the major way, and the top one are Dumob and Limei today in China. And the quality of users acquired from incentive offer wall is not as bad as expected. It's nearly equivalent from the traditional banner advertisement. So this is about the distribution ecosystem in China. And then another topic which is pretty important is that let's look at what type of games or what genre of games do people like in China. So we have an internal ranking system that tracking the installation, the activity, and also the monetization trend for all the apps and the games in China. So if we look at the metrics of installation and the activity, casual genres, they occupy the top chart of the whole market. Most of them are from Tencent. So casual game and casino games like poker or chess, they have very low entrance barrier for new gamers. So they receive very, very high activity and engagement with the massive gamers in China and receive very high day one retention. So in China, the gamer ecosystem is something like this. It's like a pyramid. The massive gamers are at the base. And the casual and casino titles are most suitable for them because they are getting very used to play on offline games like poker or mahjong or something like that. So it's quite easy to shift from the offline game into the online game. And if we look at the monetization, this is something cool that we recently working on is the top grossing chart for game in China. something that you cannot find nowhere, anywhere else, all over the world. So it's based on data. We track the top titles that that has the highest revenue within the market by on a monthly basis. So if we look at the data here, and card battle and RPG games and mid-core and hardcore games, those are the genres that have the strongest monetization capability, because for those genres that have innovative and diverse gameplay mechanic, people are it is quite usable to get some active users, and people are attractive to those contents, and people are getting used to pay for the content or in-app purchase in the gameplay. So if we look in terms of top grossing, Tencent still dominates the top chart. But if we look at the top 100 grossing titles, even Tencent have around 20 different titles. There are like 50 different vendors that occupy the top 100 title. That means the competition is very fierce today, and the people outside of Tencent still got very good chances to succeed in the market. So this picture give you a general idea that the mid-core games, like card battle games, still it is very strong at both the activity engagement and also the monetization, and the ARPPU could reach like 150 RMB per active user, per paid user. And then casual and casino genres, they're strong at engaging with people, but kind of not strong as the hardcore or mid-core games in terms of monetization. But the trend is that the conversion rate for payment is growing. So that means more and more people, more and more mobile game users are getting used to pay within the game they are playing. So this slide shows that the competition is ever fierce today. Even Tencent, the dominant traffic source, the time for their title and the time for their lifetime of their gamers are getting short and short. We did see some downside trend for Tencent for their new for all their titles, because there are more and more new games outside of Tencent has entered the market and acquire users from Tencent. A good example is today a very famous title called Dota Legend, or Legend Dota. So we did see some trend of fusion of different gameplay mechanism, and Dota is one good example. It has very strong IP-based Dota, which has a huge base of fans, and then it combines the gameplay of RPG and action game, which gives a very good user experience, a very innovative and attractive gameplay for all the users. That's drive the success for this title, and it even surpassed Tencent to be the top one in the grossing chart in China. So at the beginning of my presentation, I mentioned that the growth for the total market for the new gamer growth has been slowing down, and in nature, mobile gaming is a business. So for a business, we must look at the ROI. So today, instead of acquiring new users or new gamers for a new titles released in the market, people are transit their focal points from acquiring new users into the ROI. They're gonna look at the cost and the return instead of just acquiring new users. Because from the data we have, 80% of all the titles within the market cannot be balanced after 30 days. If we compare the cost they acquire a user and the revenue the new user could bring to the title. So ROI is becoming more and more important as the traffic growing trend is slowing down, and people are need to, change their focal point on engaging with the existing gamers and how to monetize with the right users, with the right money and right resources. So for the ecosystem on ROI is something like this. Both the demand side and supply side, they require the audience targeting driven business. For the demand side, for the developers and advertisers, they want to spend money to the right users. And for the supply side, this is something typical in China. Both all the distribution channels, they work on CPS model. That means the revenue sharing model with the developer. So they need to spend the right resources to the right users too, because they want to maximize the monetization from their key resources. So one thing that can help to meet their requirements is you give the right content to the right user at the right time. And then audience targeting from the mobile DMP is something to solve this problem. So TalkingData in China, we are the first one to release a mobile DMP in China based on the 800 million unique devices we have. We build a comprehensive profiling and tags based for each of the mobile devices and mobile users we access. And then we open up the API to both the demand side and the supply side to give them audience targeting capability. So a quick overview of the TalkingData DMP for gaming solutions. With the data we have based on our DMP, we help developers and people to find the insight that you have never found before. And then, for example, you're going to understand your gamers more, what device they're using, how to segment your users, and to provide some personalized messaging and engage with them. And then we work with the DSP and RTB ecosystem within China to help engage with the right user group. And then we provide tracking, third-party tracking and analytics services to help you to track the performance of your ROI enhancement campaigns. So this is some screenshot of our solutions. We help you to find, first of all, we help you segment your first-party data to segment your own users, like what is the whale user, what are the top spenders, which are the people are never paying and things like that. And then based on the DMP, the third-party data will help you to retarget those spenders based on the tags, not only within your first-party data, but also with some third-party tags that we built for the target users. And then we can also do some churning prediction for those users who is going to drop from your game. And you could then to build some personalized messaging to engage with them to drive them back, or do some if the gamer tend to leave your game, you can do some cross promotion of your new titles. And also we can do some A/B tests to help you to test the performance of your different design of your campaigns, and also help you to track the whole conversion funnel of the in-app messaging push. Okay, another case is that we did the audience targeting and non-audience targeting campaign for one of the famous titles in China. And I'm going to go, because time is limited, I'm going quickly. So it turns out the result is enhanced pretty significantly. And through the solution, we help them. We only use half of their budget to collect like the 2 times of the total revenue for the campaign. And another thing is that through our DMP, we can help you to find the insight that you never find before. And we did some case with cross-industry innovation. This is something very interesting in China. In China, all of the banks, they have their own mobile apps. And we have did the profiling for the banking apps. We found they have very, very strong gaming attributes. So we combined the top developers in China and the mobile banking users. And we do some retargeting for all the the spenders for all the top titles, and help them, and they design a special campaign within the banking traffic to use some of the credits points to buy some of the virtual items within their game. They don't spend real money because they're all banking users. They just spend their credits points to buy some virtual items, and turns out it's crazily successful. The campaign, the special gift package is sold out only within only 1 hour. So, yeah, this is some of the case that I share with you based on DMP to show you why China is turning into ROI-driven for the next step. So to summarize, and for Western or global developers, they're ever the best chance to go to China because casual game, you see, is the best way to enter in China. The massive gamers, they are the casual content consumers. And also, we should look at focus on the something differentiate ourselves. Is we have some if we have some strong IP or some innovation on gameplay, and which I refer Dota Hero as a good example for that. And also to enter China, you're gonna work with some of the local publishers because they have strong resource consolidation capabilities, and at last, the data partners that you are working with to turn your focus on the ROI-driven business. So TalkingData is a partner that you can turn to when you enter China. We have a total solution, as I explained in the beginning of my presentation. Okay, that's all I have for today. And if you are interested in anything about our solutions or gaming, mobile gaming in China, you can turn to me in offline or drop me emails here. Thank you very much. Bonjour. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Ibrahim. We have about 15 minutes for questions. If you'd like to ask some questions, we would love to have some. Anybody? Questions?
Actually, not a question, but actually, I want to thank you for this general presentation, and I think that information which you offered us it's good. I mean, those things which you mentioned and you kind of give the data, I think they are pretty much interesting. And for instance, I was in last week in China to negotiation with some operators and also other players and the game companies. And actually, I see the Chinese market as a huge potential, but in the same time, there's a lot of challenges. But basically, for instance, the Chinese players and the Chinese companies has been extremely active here in Europe. And I'm coming from Finland, from TechS, the National Technology and Innovation Agency. And our role is to fund our own companies. And what we have basically seen that actually when you get the right path there in China and Chinese market, and you find the right partners, and actually if you look at the Asia market as a whole, I think the penetration time to Chinese market can be actually much more faster than the other markets in that area when you do your homework properly and you kind of find the right partners there. But okay, I thank you for your presentation. Thanks.
Yes, thank you very much. I think the
you.
key to entering China is to find the right partners. Especially, we've talked to a lot of Western developers that they have learned some good lessons. You know, they're the pioneer entering China, but you know, simply just finding some publishing partner is not enough. You're gonna know everything about your game. You need to control the data of yourself. You have to understand the customer of your games. So you have to know everything on data of your own title, and also operation. You must do it yourself because operation is the key to engage with the gamers in China. It's extremely important in China, and you're gonna have to do it yourself. And yeah, so we're there to help. We're neutral. We work with all the publishers, and we work with you know, the ad platforms, and we work with the developers. So we're happy to help them to receive success in China.
Great. Any other questions? No? Please don't hesitate to rate our discussion this afternoon as you walk out then, and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.